Hey Trojans, happy Friday. Welcome to our virtual math class. I'm so glad you're here joining us for this recorded lesson today. I'm excited to be here, and I'm so excited that you are here too. We get to talk about decimals and specifically comparing decimals today. Now, hopefully you read about them yesterday. It was in our Thursday folder. It was our assignment for Thursday in Schoology. We read about them in our FLVS curriculum, and then we also had a quiz. So if you didn't do that quiz, make sure you go back into Schoology and take that quiz, but make sure you take that quiz after reading the lesson from yesterday. Let's dive on in and take a look at our agenda for today. We're going to start with sharing our favorite songs. If you're watching this, you need to send this to me in a message or a text or an email. So you must turn in this somehow to let me know. Easiest way is to send me a message on Schoology. I will also put a discussion post open in today's assignment so that or today's page on Schoology, or folder today on Schoology, so that you can post it there if you want. So either post it in the discussion board, send me a message on Schoology, send me a text or an email. Let me know what your favorite song is right now. That is our welcoming ritual for today. You might laugh at me for mine, but the one that I have to choose as my favorite right now is, let me find it so I don't tell you the wrong thing, is How Far I'll Go from Moana. Bailey and Walter watch that movie almost every night, so that song is stuck in my head all the time these days. They watch it as they fall asleep, so I hear it because it's the first song in the movie, and it has to be my favorite song right now because it's the only song I've really listened to. So I guess I was supposed to wait to do that till after I got through the whole agenda, but that was my favorite song, so please make sure you share yours with me too. Then we'll do a check-in on our assignments from Thursday, which was yesterday. Then we're going to take a look at next week. Then we'll check our browsers for map. We're taking the map test next week, so we want to make sure we're able to access the site. And then we'll take some notes and have a discussion on comparing decimals, as well as where we can put a 0. So we already did number 1, kind of in the middle of that. Share with me your favorite song. I'd love to hear it. Mine is How Far I'll Go from Moana. Now let's check in about our assignments yesterday. So yesterday was an asynchronous day. We had an agenda with a welcome video. There was an FLVS lesson to read, and then a quiz to take. I was in our office, or health hours, all day yesterday with Miss Hayden. We saw a number of people jump in and join us. It was so awesome to see people do that. If you did, so glad I saw you. If you didn't and you have questions, we've got health hours on Tuesday and Thursday next week. If you're not available during the school day, I know things happen, let me know and we can schedule a time outside of school hours. If you didn't do those 2 assignments from yesterday, please make sure they get done. They are designed to be done on Thursday before today's class because we're using the stuff we read about yesterday today. As a reminder, if they're not done, I will let your people know. So please make sure you get those done. If you need help getting them done or have questions, let me know. Awesome. All right, so let's take a look at next week. Next week is a really funky week. Monday, we don't have any sort of school in honor of the wonderful Martin Luther King Jr. It is Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday. He was an awesome guy, and I would tell you more, but I know Mr. Barton is going to, and I don't want you to hear the same stuff twice. If for some reason Mr. Barton doesn't, let me know. But he did tell me this morning he was going to talk to y'all about the wonderful Martin Luther King Jr. On Tuesday, we are switching things up because it's a funky week. Instead of having any sort of reading assignment with quizzes and other things, I'm going to record a lesson for you. So please make sure you do watch that full lesson. It is going to be interactive. There's going to be activities for you to do in the middle of it. And then we are going to have an exit ticket on Tuesday. Make sure you watch that video and complete that exit ticket on Tuesday. That way everything gets taken care of and we stay on track. On Wednesday, we will be ELA map testing with your homeroom teacher. So whoever you have first in the morning, whether it's Miss Brown, Miss Hayden, Mr. Barton, or myself, make sure you are there with that teacher at 9 a.m. if you are at all able to. We'll start promptly at 9 a.m. with the ELA map test. All right, After that, in the afternoon, I'm going to have a flip grid for us to do, and then there'll also be an optional game that Miss Hayden and I are hosting in the afternoon. On Thursday, we're going to do the same thing we did on Tuesday because it's a funky week. We're going to watch a video lesson with me. It'll be interactive. We'll have some stuff to do during it. And then we'll have an exit ticket. So please, on Thursday, make sure you complete that. Watch the whole video and then complete the exit ticket. And then on Friday, we are going to do the math map test with your homeroom teacher. Again, we start promptly at 9 a.m., so please make sure you're with your homeroom teacher if you are at all able to be at 9 a.m. And then in the afternoon, since it is in the morning and we don't have regular classes on Wednesday or Friday, Miss Hayden and I will be putting together an optional activity in the afternoon if you want to join us. We'll have details about both the optional game and the optional activity by Monday afternoon. It'll be in our Schoology folder by Tuesday morning. But we're going to have some fun in those afternoons. So that is a look ahead at our little funky week. If you have any question at all about that, let me know. All right. So up next, we are going to take a look and make sure that our browsers are working for our map test next week. I'm going to switch to my face right there. And I'm going to click on that right there. And I'm going to drag our Schoology page up where you can see it. All right, here is our Schoology page. You've seen it before, you'll see it again. You may not see this right here, but you definitely see all of this. In our Friday folder where you are to watch this video, make sure you go in there and click on the map browser test. Now there's a couple of things you might see. If you see this screen right here, where it says login, you are all set. That's awesome. Way to go. You're going to be ready next Wednesday and Thursday. If you see this screen right here that says, oops, where's my test window? Let me know. We can solve that issue. Usually it's going to be a pop-up blocker issue. There is also one other issue. It may say that there's a screen resolution issue. If either of those are an issue for you, if this one pops up, please turn off your pop-up blocker and try it again. If you need help turning off your pop-up blocker, come find me Tuesday during our class time or shoot me a message, either on Schoology or an email or a text, or give me a call. If you see, again, this login screen, you are good to go. You're going to be ready to go next week. If you do not see this login window, let me know now, or come by on Tuesday during our help time and we can help you out. We want it to go seamlessly, be easy on Wednesday when we get to the actual test. Did have some people have issues. I know we fixed it for a lot of people in the fall, but then when we got new computers, the issue popped up again. It's an easy fix, but do come see us so we can get you hooked up with what you need. Awesome. All right, so now I'm going to go back to this page right here, and we're going to take some notes on comparing decimals. So please make sure you take these notes with us. If you have your math notebook, that is awesome. If you are in a binder, that is cool too. Now you probably have already compared some numbers. You've compared numbers. You have compared other things in life. Specifically in ELA, you have probably seen this. Compare and contrast. Think for a minute, what does it mean when Miss Hayden says compare and contrast? What does that mean? What are you doing? Well, I know that when we compare and contrast, we're seeing what is similar and what is different. So in math, we're going to do the same thing. When we are comparing decimals, we're going to see where they're the same and where they are different. We're going to make that comparison or judgment of which one is bigger or smaller or what is the same. So I want us to take a look at two numbers here. Take a look at these two numbers. 37 and 150. Think about those two, and what do you notice? I'm going to think 237, 150. So I see that 150 is greater than 37. I see that 150 is bigger. I see that 37 is a small number. I bet you saw all of those three things too. Well, here's two more things that I've noticed about these numbers. Both numbers are whole numbers. And both of these numbers are positive numbers. They're not negative, they are positive numbers. So there's 5 things that we have compared these two whole numbers. Now, I'm going to pause here, give you a chance to get those written down, then we will move on. Okay, so I'm going to give us 3 pairs of numbers. They're all whole numbers. They are all positive. There are 3 numbers. I want you to think for a minute, write those down, and decide which one in each pair is greater than the other. Okay, so I know that 100 is greater than 13. So I'm going to put 100 is greater than 13. Now I know 75 is greater than $52. Now I know I'd rather have 75 cookies than 52 cookies. So 52 is less than 75 because 75 is greater than 52. This last one, I think I'd rather have 16 cookies than 42. Well, yeah, because I got to work on my health. But 42 is still bigger or is greater than 16. So 16 is less than 42. Awesome. I hope you got those too. I'm going to pause here for just a moment while I get to our next portion of what we are doing as we start talking about my favorite kind of decimals, money. All right. So I want us to take a look at these 2 amounts of money right here. I'm going to put a little squiggly line across. And we're going to look at $100. And we are going to look at $13.50. And we're going to ask which one of those is bigger. Is $100 bigger or is $13.50 bigger? What? You're telling me $100 is bigger? But hold on, there's 4 numbers here. There's 1350. That's bigger than 100. Oh, but you're telling me there's this? There's a decimal place between the 3 and the 5? And that decimal place separates between a whole number and part of a number? Oh, okay. So $100 is bigger than $13, and then we have 50 cents, which is part of a dollar. So absolutely, $100 is greater than $13.50. Now, what if that decimal place wasn't there? What if we didn't have that decimal place, and we had $100, and we had $1,350? Well, in that case, $1,350 would be bigger or greater than $100, right? Okay. So that now there's a comma, and that means we have $1,000, which is bigger than $100. Okay. I'm going to start this number, and we're going to take a deeper dive into some things with $13.50. Take a look at $13.50. And now let's compare this $13.50 to 13.5. Is this greater than equal to, or less than. This is where it starts to get a little difficult. Well, I'm going to say they are equal to. And here's why. If we had a whole number, and our whole number was, say, 59, and then we put a 0 on the far left side of the decimal place, so it was 059, sorry, not the decimal place, of the number, so it was 059, that is the same thing as just 59. 059 is the same thing as 59, right? Because that 0 does not change the value of anything. Now, if we put the 0 on this side instead, it becomes 590, right? And 590 is bigger than 59. But we didn't put the 0 there. Okay. What about if we did it like this? 75 or 75. They're the same thing, right? Let's talk about money for a minute, because you know I love money. We're going back to the money. Let's talk about $59 and $59.00. Now we know when we add a 0 to the far left of a number on the far left of the decimal place, we know it does not change the value. But let's think about money, and what you know about money. Is $59 the same thing as $59.00? Absolutely. $59 is the exact same thing as $59.00. The only thing we did was add 2 zeros, but we added the zeros on the right side of the decimal place. So there are 2 places that we can add zeros. We can either add a 0 on the left side of a whole number, or on the very right side of a decimal place. Now, something that is super cool to know, we're going to write that down. Every whole number has a decimal place at the end. And I'll slide that up in just a moment. So let's take a look at some numbers. Well, my favorite number right now is 63. 63, there's a decimal place right there. I know that some of y'all are 10. Guess what? At the end of 10, there's a decimal place right there. Every whole number has a decimal place at the end. Now, we don't write that because it doesn't change the value. It doesn't change the amount of money or cookies or whatever we have. It doesn't change the amount. But every whole number has a decimal place at the end. Okay. So let's compare some decimals. We're going to compare 2 decimals. And I'm going to draw a little line here again, a little squiggly line, as we get down into our 2 steps. The first step is to line up the decimal place. But I should probably give us the 2 numbers first. So I'm going to write our 2 numbers up here. You can write them down here if you want, but I'm almost out of space. So we are going to first line up the decimal places in these 2 numbers. So we have 45.32. And I know that is not the proper way to say that number. We would say something else to have it in standard form. But in order to not give anything away at the moment, we are going to just read it as a decimal, 45.4. Now, I learned from my mistake earlier. I'm going to blow this dry. I didn't blow it dry earlier and it smudged. Now, I'm going to highlight my... See, I still got blue right there from earlier. I want to highlight my 2 decimal places to make sure that they are lined up. And it makes a wall for me. I like my decimal places to make a wall. They are lined, they are strong, they are all together. So our second step is to compare each place from working from left to right. So compare each place value working from left to right. I'll slide it up so we can see it all. I'm not in the way. All right, so pause this here if you need some more time to write. But we're going to work from left to right. We're going to look first at our 4s. Our 10s place, because that's the farthest on the left. Sorry, I'm backwards here. Farthest on the left. Our 4s in the 10s place, those are both the same. We are good to go. All right, our 5s in the 1s place. 5 is equal to 5. There we go. We're going to move on to the 10th place, moving farther right. Now we have the 10th place, and right here, we have a 3 and a 4. Those are not the same. So now that we've found the place working from left to right, that is not the same, we're going to see which one is bigger. So this one right here, the 4 is bigger. I'm going to star that down here. Once we find the difference, we can stop. So we're now comparing that 3 and that 4. And I know you can tell me that, hey, 4 is greater than 3. I would rather have 4 carrot sticks than 3 carrot sticks, so 4 is greater than 3. That means 45.4 is greater than 45.32. So we'll write that down here, and I'm going to write it in blue because we've written our numbers in blue so far. 45.32 is less than 45.4 because the 10th place was bigger. All right. Y'all, I'm going to pause this here. We're going to continue this on Tuesday in our recorded video because it's an asynchronous day. But we do have an exit ticket. So please go to the exit ticket link in Schoology. It is in our Friday folder. And I will find, there are 3, I'll show you exactly what it looks like, actually. Here's our Schoology page for Friday. Here's what the exit ticket looks like. It is just 3 spots for answers. So it's answer 1, answer 2, answer 3. Just put in your 3 answers. The 3 questions say which is greater. This number or this number, this number or this number, and this number or this number. Let's zoom in there so we get a little bit bigger. This paper, slide it up. So you can go ahead now and figure out which of those 3 pairs is greater, and then submit those 3. So this is answer 1, this one is answer 1, this one is answer 2, and then this one is answer 3. Submit those on the exit ticket form, and then you are good to go. Have an amazing weekend, Trojans. I can't wait to see you on Tuesday. Remember, we have no school on Monday, so I will see you on Tuesday. It's an asynchronous day, so I will see you. If you want to drop by, you're welcome to join us, or I will see you in our video. Bye, y'all. Have an awesome weekend.